Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing 10th canto and 53rd chapter, 10th and 11th verse. I think it's just 11th here. 10th is not written. I'll just speak 10th verse. Pitran devan samabharchaya vipramscha vidivat nirpa bhojayitva yatha nyayam vachyamasam mangalam. This is 10th. 11th I am reading. Okay. Now we are reading 11th. Snusnatam sudatim kanyam kritakautuka mangalam ahatam shukayugmena bhushitam bhushanottamahi. Bhushitam bhushanottamai. Shvesnatam sudatim kanyam kritakautukamangalam ahatam sukajugmena Bhushitam bhushanottamahe. Susanatam sudatim kanyam kritakautukamangalam. This is good idea. Let's see. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll just read there. This is text 10 and text 11. Text 10 I am reading translation, then read text 11. Translation of text 10. O king, in accordance with the prescribed rituals, Maharaj Bhishmak worshipped the forefathers, the demigods, brahmanas, feeding them all properly. Then he had the traditional mantras chanted for the well-being of the bride. We are in text 11. Snusnatam, properly bathed. Sudatim, with spotless teeth. Kanyam, the bride. Krita, having performed. Kautukamangalam, the ceremony of putting on the auspicious marriage necklace. Ahata, unused. Amshuka, of garments. Yugmena, with a pair. Bhushitam, adorned. Bhushana, with ornaments. Uttamai, most excellent. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. The bride cleaned her teeth and bathed, after which she put on the auspicious wedding necklace. Then she was dressed in brand new upper and lower garments and adorned with most excellent jeweled ornaments. Purport. Just one line purport. According to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, only spotless clothing, fresh off the loom, should be worn during auspicious ceremonies. That's it. Yeah, okay, well, I'll speak something on this. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
You can also read more verses.
We can do that?
Yeah, you can continue to hit more.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I think I have a lot to speak on this. So much. I can't even finish in 2-3 classes, but okay, so yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, well, we all know the context, and this is the marriage of Rukmani Devi, Shri Devi, Mahalakshmi. And in this pastime, her father is Bhishmak, who is in Vidarbha, and she is supposed to get married with Shishupal. That's what is happening. And Shishupal's father is Damghosh, who actually Shishupal, I think Rukmani, the present state of Vidarbha is, I think, what's that, MP and some parts of Bihar nowadays, Vidarbha.
Yeah, so we looked it up last week. It's down in the southeastern part of Maharashtra.
Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. Near Nagpur, okay. So they were about to get married, and the point is this Bhishmak, he didn't actually want Rukmani to marry Shishupal. He knew Shishupal is nonsense. But the point is, he was persuaded by his son Rukmi. That was his problem, as usual, Fathers are helpless. And there's some politics also going on. So he told, okay, fine, let's do this. But the point is, so he's doing some arrangements, and Damghosh, he comes with his son Shishupal. Shishupal is also accompanied by his friends. Jarasandh is there now here. Jarasandh is not exactly, he's much elder to Shishupal, but he comes to help. His friend Dantbakra, Shalva, who were actually killed by Krishna, all of them comes anticipating that Krishna will come. They anticipated he'll come and he'll do some mess around here. He'll do something. Always he's like a person who is creating some problems everywhere, but nice problems. That's what he is. So they also came, and they thought, if he comes here, we'll attack him and we'll kidnap Rukmani before he does. If something happens, they planned ahead. So everything is done. And here, so they come there, and here in Vidarbha Desh, Bhishmak is making arrangements. Now, if we look in the previous verse, the arrangements which Bhishmak makes is he decorates a city. In the previous verse, it said he makes his commercial roads and intersections cleaned, sprinkled with water. Then there are so many banners and poles and coconuts and trees and this blah blah blah. So that's one part of a festival. When you have some festival in Vedic times, there are two parts of it, two components. One component is Vyavaharik or Laukik. That means you decorate all these external paraphernalias. And the second part is Vedic. You have two wealth in a festival. One wealth is of real wealth, gold and so many other things. And the other wealth is wealth of Vedic culture, and that's a wealth, that's a real wealth of any civilization, the culture. That's important. And culture depends on Culture depends on religion, philosophy of life, and also the way people think, especially in Vedic culture, depends on Vedas. So here in these two verses, Sukadeva Goswami is not really interested to tell that this person wore something and that happened. He's not a person who is going to talk about all these things, isn't it? He's not interested in external things, especially he who actually left the womb. As soon as he's born, he just leaves the place. He's not interested in anything. Then why is talking about so many things? This decoration, that decoration. Even we are not interested. If something decoration is happening, okay, well, that's fine. We are interested in Krishna. So why is doing that? That's the question. The question is why is describing all these things. And the idea is Sukadeva Goswami is bringing 2 points, 2 subtle points here. The first point is the wealth of any civilization is culture. That's the first point he's bringing here. And the essence of culture is satisfaction of soul, not the body. And these 2 points he brings out very nicely in these verses, and I'll tell you how. But that's what Bhagavatam is. Bhagavatam is all Parokshavad. Parokshavad, as Krishna says to Uddhav, Parokshavad me priyam. Krishna says to Uddhav, I don't like if somebody tells me, please accept me. Not that much. I like that's okay. But if somebody tells me, please make me your slave, that's exciting. That's very exciting. Please make me your slave. That's exciting. That's exciting to me. And if somebody tells me, somebody means Radha. Radha tells me, please exploit me. That's super exciting to me. That's what is, by the way, Shikshashtakam. Ainanda Tanuja, please accept me. And Yugaitam Nimishena Chakshus, that please make me your slave. And Ashlishava Padratam Pinastumam, please exploit me. That's how it goes. So it's all Parokshvat. Parokshvat is the same way of saying, it's a way of saying indirectly. Not indirectly in the sense which makes things very interesting. For example, yesterday I was telling, I can tell somebody I love you, but Parokshvad is, I surrender to you. That's very interesting. If a girlfriend says to boyfriend, or boyfriend says to girlfriend, I surrender to you, she is finished. She never like that. That's Parokshvad. Or maybe in English you can somewhat call it as rhetorics, or in dramatics or Natya Shastra, it is called as Alankar, ornamentation of language. So Sukadeva Goswami is expert in Alankar and Parokshvad. Then that's why Vyasadev came to listen to him. It said, Shukadev, when a parrot bites a fruit, it becomes more tasty. That's why it's called Shukadev. Ripened fruit. So what that means? Shukadev is not a parrot and there's no fruit. What that means, the point is, and especially he learned from Vyasadev Bhagavatam. It's his teacher, and his teacher is coming and listening the same message. Why? Because he was expert in presenting things in a way which is more interesting, more impactful. Rhetorics is not just to make things interesting, it's to make the message impactful. It's not some flattering or some way of impressing people. It's not the point. So Sukadeva Goswami is using rhetorics here. Now how he explains, how he brings the point of culture. Now he says in this verse, and actually in the previous verse he says, Pitran Devam Samabharchaya Vipramscha Vidivanpan. So Bhishmak has already taken care of ordinary things which are to be done in a festival, external decoration. Now he's coming to Vedic rituals. Ritual is not a good word. Basically, the connotation of ritual is bad. It's a blind thing. He's coming to Vedic procedures. And what he's doing is, first he satisfies Pitran, Devan and Brahman. 3 things. Any festival in Vedic times, all culture is based on satisfaction. he satisfied demigods, Pitran means forefathers, and especially Viprams means Brahmanas. And the word used is Sam Abhyarchaya. It's not this, it's the previous verse. Sam Abhyarchaya. So this word is important. Prabhupada disciples, they translate as correctly worshipping. He worshipped them correctly. Abhyarchaya means worship, and Sam Abhyarchaya means Samyak Abhyarchaya. Sam means fully. In Sanskrit, if you see dictionary, Sam means fully, or Pandita Samadarshina. There, Sam also means in a correct perspective, rightly. Sam. Sam also means, in Sanskrit, it means purely. Purely. That is, completely means purely. There is nothing mixture in that, selfishness or something. Sam Abhyarchaya, that's this word. Bhishmak, without any reservations, he satisfied them fully. And this word also comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you see that. When Rupa Goswami, actually I was remembering that, when Rupa Goswami comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Bengal, from Vrindavan, to meet Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, and he wrote those two books, Lalit Madhav, Vidak Madhav, and then Mahaprabhu, he comes there, and Mahaprabhu and all of those people are sitting in Haridas Thakur, what's that called? Haridas Thakur state? Imlitala? Huh? Siddhabakul. They are staying, Sarvam Bhattacharya, and all of them are staying in Rupa Goswami is there. He stayed with Haridas Thakur. Mahaprabhu comes with all of them, and Mahaprabhu says, Rupa, what you are writing? You're writing, give me that. And it's definitely supposed to be tasty, and you speak. Rupa Goswami is ashamed, but Mahaprabhu says, speak. And then Rupa Goswami is not speaking. Mahaprabhu says, okay, speak the first verse. And the first verse of any nataka or drama, that's called Nandi. Nandi means the preamble. So when you're beginning a drama, you have to write one verse which is actually describing the whole drama, what exactly the preface is, the preamble is. So Mahaprabhu says, okay, speak Nandi Shlok. And you know which verse he spoke? He spoke 2-3 verses, but one of the verses, Tunde Tandavanam, his famous verse. I am not satisfied by chanting the holy names with one tongue. Let me have millions of tongues so that I can chant millions of holy names. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he writes a commentary to this. And he writes in the commentary, well, yes, we are praying, Rupa Goswami is praying, let me have millions of tongues so that I can chant millions of names. And then Vishwanath Thakur writes, well, we devotees pray to Krishna, let me have millions of ears so that I can hear millions of holy names. Let me have millions of bodies so can I have millions of tongues in those millions of bodies and I can keep on chanting the holy names. That's what he writes there. So that's called Sam Abhyarchaya, a complete satisfaction. So he worships them, and the idea is Bhojahitva Yata Nyayam. He gives them food also. Yatha Nyayam means according to the respect, who is elder, who is junior. That's actually culture demands a proper respect according to the status of the person. That's actually Vedic culture. In fact, Madhva comments on Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita is our book. Prabhupada says the law of, was it Manu Samhita is law for humankind, something like that. Law book, Manu Samhita. So Manu Samhita says, Manu Samhita puts hierarchy, brahmanas, kings. You see, you have to respect in a proper order. And Madhva says in the commentary to Manu Samhita, and commenting in the commentary on Rig Veda, he comments on Manu Samhita and he says that, not maintaining hierarchy, yathavat nyayam, not giving respect according to the station of that person is demoniac. The concept of equality is demoniac. It's interesting. That's how it goes. That's America, Everybody is equal and, everybody is same. No, everybody is not same. Spiritually they are equal. Maybe not even spiritually. Radharani is not equal to us. We are never equal to Radharani. Spiritually also there is hierarchy. Hierarchy not in the essence, because in essence we are all spirit souls, but hierarchy in the function and the experience of happiness. That's basically Taratmaya. What Radharani experiences, a jiva can never experience. It's impossible. What demigods experience happiness, that a normal person cannot experience. There is a hierarchy. And that hierarchy Prabhupada actually alludes to in Srimad Bhagavad Gita when he comments from Taittiriya Upanishad. Isn't it? He says that, what's that? Brahmapucham, that concept. From Chandogya Upanishad also he comments that the people in this world, they experience happiness, the demigods experience 100 times more, then Gandharva Kinnars 100 times more, and then he goes on, keep on going. So there is no concept of equality. There is a concept of equality, Pandita Samadarshina, in the essence, in the tattva, that everybody is spirit soul. That way it's okay. So in an ontological sense, in a structural ontological sense, there is equality, but in functional it's not. It can't be. In function, everybody is different. So that's the idea. Yathavat Nyayam. We have to give respect to everybody according to station. That's very important. That is what culture is based on. Bhishmak is expert in that. He does that. And he gives them Vachayam Asha Mangalam. Now, why he is doing all these things? Why we want to satisfy Brahmanas and demigods and Krishna, so that person who is worshipping, he experiences auspiciousness and there are no obstacles. That's the idea. That's why you see traditionally people used to worship Ganesh, the Karma Kanda, to remove obstacles. In any puja you worship Ganesh first. Of course Vaishnavas do not do. For Vaishnavas, for Sri Vaishnav and Madhva Sampradaya, they worship Lord Narasimha, or Vishwaksena. And in Gaudiya Sampradaya, we don't even worship Narasimha and Vishwaksena per se, although we do for preaching. If you're a preacher, you have to worship Lord Narasimha, especially. Because you need somebody on your side, to rip off if somebody's coming along. There are many people, who want to destroy us. But for Gaudiya Vaishnava especially, we worship Govardhan for actually removing obstacles. That's our style, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So, Vachayam Asha Mangalam. Why we worship? So that all auspiciousness and obstacles on the path of devotion, the path to the temple of love of God, they are destroyed. That's why we want to satisfy devotees and brahmanas to get their blessings. Vachayam Asha Mangalam. Okay, now we come to this verse. This verse is quite interesting. So this is another part of Vedic culture. One is satisfying the brahmanas and gods to get blessings. Another thing is this, cleanliness. And also, you know what, when you're doing any rites in Vedic thing, we are actually invoking God. We are invoking God. Isn't it? That's why brahmanas are there, demigods. We are doing yagyas, invoking God. When we are invoking God, everybody is supposed to dress nicely because God is there. That's when all functions, if you see. Yeah, yesterday also they had Durga Puja. You see all Indians, doing festivals, they are dressed so nicely. And one feels, well, why they are dressed so nicely? Do they want to show? Of course, they don't know the purpose. They are coming for showing off. But the idea is to dress nicely so that God is invoked there. Krishna is supposed to come there. So it was always there. Always in any of the festival from our childhood, anywhere, we were supposed to dress nicely with fresh clothes. Females are dressing nicely. Even if you go to Vrindavan now, Banke Bihari temple, all these pandas, they dress very nicely, gorgeously actually, with silk clothes. And then you ask them, why you're showing off. They say no. They say if God is coming, we got to be nicely dressed because it will be feast to His eyes. That's what gopis were. Gopis actually gopis, not exactly gopis, but if you know that Andal, that in South India, there was one big alvar, Andal. She used to dress, she used to spend like 3-4 hours in front of mirror doing makeup and dressing herself. And her father was like pure devotee, Vishnu Chitta. And he said, what's happening to my daughter? He couldn't really understand. Spending 4 hours in front of mirror doing makeups and what's happening, and she's putting a garland and she's seeing herself. He couldn't really understand, but later he understood that she was actually Lakshmi. She was Lakshmi. Ranganath married her. Ranganath proposed her actually. And he personally came to take her from Vishnu Chitta. And then she merged in Ranganath. And then he understood why she is doing, because she wanted to present herself in a very nicely dressed way in front of Krishna. That's why she was doing. So Rukmani is Lakshmi. And there's a Vedic culture, so she dresses nicely. That's what is explained here. We can also dress nicely when we come to temple. but there's another rule. There's a rule in Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada writes. You should not dress so nicely so that you attract all attention of people towards you and distract the attention from Krishna. That is why it is required not to wear red dress in the temple. You see, there's a rule. You should not wear red dress, which is bright red, because it will attract attention of people. So dress nicely, soberly. But it should be nice. So Sukadeva Goswami is describing Rukmani, snu snatam. Now this is a word. Snatam means properly bathed. Now Rukmani is properly bathed. The idea is, in Vedic culture, when you especially have a bath, especially for the bride, it's not bath with water. It is bath with specially prepared water. It is like chandan there, and also, what is that? Rose water, kesar, and all those things. So that's why the word su snatam is used. Su means specially. She specially bathed. And then the word used is su datim. Datim means with spotless teeth. Now, how they used to make their teeth spotless is, they used to eat pan. Pan? What's that called? Tambul? Tambul? Beetle, yeah. So, you see, there is a scripture called as Kautuk Ratnakar. You see the word? Krita Kautuka Mangalam. This word Kautuk also means, Kautuk means enjoyment. Festivals have enjoyment, lot of, hustle and bustle. That's Kautuk. But there's a scripture, Kautuk Ratnakar, that okay, what should we do in festivals to make it very delightful? So that is a book people used to consult, and it says that a female, how a female should be dressed and how a male should be dressed in any festival. There are guidelines. That's scripture. What's that? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, everything should be done according to scripture. 16, last verse. Ya shastram videmutsrijya vartate kamakarata. Before that, Krishna says, if you leave following scriptures, you will never attain happiness and peace. And before that, he says, tasmat, that is why you should always follow scriptures. Pravrittim cha anivrittim cha, what you have to do, what not to do. Scriptures are perfect. Actually, if you read Kautuk Ratnakar, it also explains how to sit in a festival. You can't sit in any position you like. It's funny. Because in a festival you should look elegant. You can't, because so many people are coming and they should be inspired and God is invoked and you can't just stand. I mean to say, that happened in Vaikuntha. What to say of material world? In Brihad Bhagavatam, this Gop Kumar, he went to Vaikuntha and just hanging around, and then all those rishis saying, stand properly. You are in Vaikuntha, what the hell you are doing? There's Vishnu there. And he doesn't know how to stand. He's standing like that. He's not even, and they say, what you are doing? You're not even dressed properly. What's happening to you? You can't even chant properly. And he's bewildered what to do, and Vishnu is seeing him, who is this guy? doing here. So that Kautuk Ratnakar, this is a word used for both things. You see Sukadeva Goswami, he is using the words and there's a lot of depth there. He knows his stuff, that's the idea. So every word carries so many levels of meaning. So Krita Kautuka, this Kautuk scripture, Kautuk Ratnakar, it explains how female male should be dressed. Every male, every female, there are 16 items which they have to be dressed. Like for example, for females, one of the items is Sudatim, she must be eating pan. That has to be there. And for example, for females it is Ahat Amshuka, this word is there. Amshuka means garment. Ahat means, Hat means destroyed, Ahat means which is not destroyed, basically a new garment. You should be wearing absolutely new garment which is unused, or maybe a garment which is not torn, that's very inauspicious. Garment should not be torn. If your garment is torn, the whole Vedic, it's all culture, it's all festival is finished. Especially the person who is the main person, bride and the bridegroom. So that's 16 items, fresh clothes, tambul. The female should also have kundal. You see, the necklace is also here, I think. Yeah, Bhushana Uttamai. And Prabhupada writes the auspicious wedding necklace. And then there should be a sari. There should be nupur, you know, like on the feet, gungru. There should be kinkani. Gopis wear kinkani in Ras Leela. So Sukadeva Goswami explains. Kinkani, you see, there's a belt of bells here. Just be wearing that. And then, what else? I have to think of a female now. I'm a brahmachari. I'm not supposed to think all these things. But Sukadeva Goswami is equal here. But he's thinking about all those things. So you see, and that's about female and bindi. And male, how should be dressed? What was that? Yeah, that braid and this thing. I don't know the names of this. So that's beautiful. Then that female is no longer a female. Then she looks like Lakshmi, like a divine lady, a Devi. That's why we call females as Devi. In Vedic culture, you don't call them Mataji basically. That we call to remind us, you know, this is not an object of enjoyment. But especially if you go to Vedic culture, females were called as Devi and males were called as Are. You see, Mahabharata, Devi and Are, because she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, but she's not inciting and seducing. That doesn't happen. That kind of dress doesn't make you lusty. It actually gives a lot of respect. And that is one thing. Bhushana Bhushama Uttamai. This word Uttamai means most excellent. Bhushan means ornaments. Rukmani was dressed with most excellent ornaments. Now here ornaments includes all those things. It's not just ornaments. It also includes beetle, it also includes nupur, it also includes sari, all these things. Uttamai also means she looked uttam. Yeah, she didn't look a low class female. That's dress of Vedic culture. If you dress according to Vedic culture, you will look a person which demands respect. That's how it happens. So that's how female should be dressed. How a male should be dressed? Can anybody tell me? That's interesting. In a festival, how a male should be dressed. We generally don't read about that much, how a male should be dressed, and males are not even interested in dressing. But how a male should be dressed, that's explained in Kautuk Ratnakar. It says, so even in Natyashastra, a male should be dressed, it's all fresh clothes and whatever. But a male should have a shastra. Shastra, you know what's a weapon? You should have a weapon. Like that, like sword or like knife they have there. So in Sikhism they have even. So Rajputs, they were having knives here, you know. And a male should also have a crown or a pagdi. You see that they wear in festivals? You know that, no? They wear pagdi, a crown or something, pagdi there, like elite class people. They should be eating betel nut, pan, and these were some special things I was noting. So that's how male should be dressed. So by explaining all these things, Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying Vedic culture. He's not interested in dressing. He's glorifying Vedic culture, and he's glorifying how the Vedic culture demands respect. And for what? For glorifying Krishna. Because it is made by Krishna. It all goes back to Krishna. Krita Kautuka Mangalam. Sukadeva Goswami says the ceremony was auspicious, and this word Mangalam, it denotes Krishna, by the way. So if you read Vedanta Sutra begins with what? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Prabhupada writes, it is for invoking auspiciousness. Bhagavatam begins with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's for invoking auspiciousness. So especially this word Mangalam itself, just like Om denotes Krishna, Athato denotes Krishna, Mangalam denotes Krishna. That's why he's using this word Mangalam, because Bhishmak wanted Krishna to come actually. And we know from Bhagavatam, actually it's there in Bhagavatam or what? When Krishna comes, Bhishmak offer prayers to Krishna, it's there?
Yeah, it's both Krishna and Balaram.
Yeah, both, and then Bhishmak goes outside the city and it's there. When Krishna Balaram comes, Bhishmak knows he's coming and he goes out of the city because he knows if he comes in the city and then Shishupal and they'll all go wild. And he offers prayers and he says to Krishna in the prayers that we desire that you win the hand of Rukmani because you are the perfect match.
Yeah.
He says that if you read properly. It's his internal, that's why this word Krita Kautuka Mangalam, Sukadeva Goswami is purposefully using this word Mangalam to express the internal desires of all the people of Vidarbha and including Bhishmak, except Rukmi. He was nonsense. So he invoked this auspiciousness. Ahat Amshuka Yugmena. So how what Rukmani was wearing? She was wearing a garment by Yugmena. Yugmena means two garments. So every female is supposed to wear two garments. Now two garments means one is sari. Of course internal things are different, but one is sari and one is uttariya. Hare Krishna. So a female is wearing one sari and another one more cloth on her head. You see like that? A veil. Veil has to be there. That's why he's using Yugmena. And that's how Vedic culture goes. If you see any marriage, they have a veil. They have a veil on the head. Even in Christianity, brides, they have this big dress and then they have a white thing, veil there. So he's using Yugmena. In the sense, Ahat Amshuka Yugmena, in the sense that Rukmi, we were talking yesterday, you were telling, that her face was covered by hairs and the veil. And when she comes out, she just removes the veil and her hairs. And people see her beauty. And all of them become unconscious. In fact, Shalvadanta Vakra and all of these, Shishupal also, he was like, who is this female? So she was there, Bhushita Bhushanottamai. That's why Sukadeva Goswami says, Bhushitam Bhushanottamai. This word, this expression is almost used for Krishna, Bhushana Bhushanangam. The same thing in 10th canto. The idea is you can't make Krishna beautiful by putting ornaments. Rather, ornaments become beautiful on the body of Krishna. It is what's that? It is the it is an honor for the ornaments to be on the body of Krishna rather than Krishna wearing ornaments and he says, I am honored. It's not like that. Same with Rukmani, Mahalakshmi. Bhushitam Bhushanottamai. So that's these two verses about explaining about Vedic culture, about actually its satisfaction and the expression of devotion towards Krishna by invoking auspiciousness and Krishna in these festivals. I'll just stop here. Is there any questions now? Yeah.
So, beautiful plants, beautiful descriptions of what it means to be in
Yeah.
Vedic culture. But that would also require that Vedic consciousness wherein everything's connecting to Krishna.
That's true.
Huh?
That's
Because we see, and we even made a note to that generally in weddings now, people just dress up and show up.
Yeah.
We had one wedding here, and everybody came in a Ferrari and a McLaren, $5 million cars. They're not even practical to drive.
That's true.
They showed up in.
That's true.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
Who the heck is this? We all stayed away from the place.
Yeah, actually.
So speak a little about that consciousness for everyone who's witnessing this without that type of...
Actually, you're absolutely right. With the Vedic culture also goes a consciousness because... yeah?
Please restate part of it.
Oh, okay. The question is, Prabhu is asking, with the Vedic culture and all these arrangements, the consciousness also should be there. And that's what actually Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning. In the last verse he says, all the arrangements in Vedic culture is to satisfy. That's the consciousness, to satisfy the other person. And here in this verse, by decorating yourself, the idea is to please the deities. The idea is to please the deities. And you see the point, if we read all the Dharma Shastras. Now how many Dharma Shastras we have? The main is Manu Samhita. And then there are 4 other Dharma Shastras which are very important, which all of us should read if we want to really bring that culture back. And that is Ashwalayan Smriti, Vadhayan Smriti, Vishwamitra Samhita, and one more. So we have 32 Dharma Shastras with us. 32. There's so much wealth. All of the Dharma Shastras, if you read, there are all descriptions, everything. But all of them, in the end, they emphasize on what is a consciousness going along with all these procedures. That is the main thing which Dharma Shastras is focusing on. But Dharma Shastras don't go in details. If we want to understand the consciousness which goes along with culture and dharma, for that we have to read other scripture, and that is called as, that is explained in, basically the consciousness part is explained in Dharma Shastra, and then there is something called Niti Shastra. You know Niti Shastra? There is Niti Shastras. Chanakya Pandit, Shukracharya. That gives some idea of the consciousness behind the procedures, what exactly you should be thinking along with what you are doing. Because Dharma Shastra is mostly external, you will not be able to filter it out up there. So what is a consciousness? There has to be 3 elements in any Vedic culture. One is integrity. The person should have integrity in him. He should not be doing anything superfluous. And the other is well-being of others. That's the whole consciousness there. It is for the well-being of the society and for the community. And the third thing is what's that? Dignity. Everybody has to be dignified. Just like this dress, you have to be dignified. You have to be properly dressed so that you look dignified. You don't look loose. And that you see that kind of consciousness. If we follow this principle, if we follow these virtues, which in fact Socrates referred to in his works. Socrates was always talking about virtues. He was virtue fanatic, let's say. But that was for good, because he said, virtues make your soul beautiful. That's dharma. So all these procedures devoid of Vedic consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it's just like a cow doesn't give a milk. It's waste. Or just like beating, what's that? The wheat? Beating the husk. It is just simply waste of time. Even Krishna goes a little further. He says even reading scriptures without applying them is a waste of time. He says that Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashrayam. Bhagavatam says you have to be expert in Shabda And you have to be expert in pare, means application of that. So if you read, you can read and hear for millions and millions of lifetimes, but if you don't apply it, it's all waste for us. It doesn't happen. Mahaprabhu in fact took the Bhagavatam and tore it to pieces and threw it in Ganges. You know when that person was there? Who was that? Anybody knows that? Quiz? When Chaitanya Prabhupada was walking on the Mayapur and he says, and everybody is doing kirtan, he says, stop this kirtan. Stop this kirtan. And there was a person who actually offended Srivas Pandit. What was his name? Anybody remember? No.
No. When they brought the paraphernalia and things.
No. When that devotee who was speaking Bhagavatam and he was weeping, and then he told throw him out, of this place. He was supposed to be a very big scholar. What was his name? I just missed from my mind. Anyway, that devotee is there. So he offended Srivas Thakur. He was speaking Bhagavatam. He could speak on one word for 3 months. I have seen people with my own eyes in Bengal, Jagannath Puri. One word they will take Susnatam, they will speak for 3 months. That's how deep scholarliness they have. This person knew was that, what's his name anyway. So he was speaking Bhagavatam, Srivas Thakur he used to attend, and he started weeping, he got ecstatical symptoms. And he was envious. He said, throw him out, disturbing my class. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not born at that time. He didn't appear. Later he appeared, he was doing pastime, and he was going from his house, in front of his house doing kirtans. He said, stop this kirtans. I don't want this person to hear these kirtans. Actually, he was the same person who actually guarded Vakreshwar Pandit when he was dancing and did some service, and his offense was excused. Huh? No, Vakreshwar Pandit when he was dancing.
In Puri, in the Vedic kirtan.
No, in Mayapur when Vakreshwar Pandit was dancing, he guarded. What's his name? I have no memory. Damn. Anyway, he did offense. Mahaprabhu says, stop the kirtan. I don't want him to hear holy name. Then they went 1 kilometer ahead. He said, now start the kirtan. And they said, Mahaprabhu, what happened? He says he's an offender. I don't want even him to hear the holy names, what to speak of chanting. And then he was very angry. He says, he offended my Srivas. And he was saying, you were not even there. He says, come on, I am God. And then he says, you bring his Bhagavatam. And some people ran, 1 kilometer back. They took his Bhagavatam. And he was saying, what you are doing? He took his Bhagavatam, gave to Chaitanya Prabhu. Chaitanya Prabhu's tail and tore it off. He said, to hell with this Bhagavatam. And he threw him in Ganges. And he told, well, for him, this Bhagavatam is a piece of crap. For him, not in essence, but for him because he doesn't know how to apply it. He doesn't know the basic thing. You can't offend Vaishnavas, otherwise it's useless for you. And that's why, I was reading Buddhism. Buddha mentioned in one of his book. Buddhists have a main book, and so they have two, 3 books main, and one of the books is Tripitaka, the 3 baskets, the jewel of 3 baskets. And they're saying of Buddha, and Buddha says there, don't follow the way, become the way. And that's to the point. To the point. You have to become the way. If you're simply following the way and not really knowing where the way is going, and you're involved just in rules and regulations, that's what Rupa Goswami says, niyamagare. That's the concept he's trying to bring there. And this is whole consciousness. Don't follow the culture. Become that culture. Absorb that in your soul so that you know the purpose of it. And the purpose of all these temples and all these grand things and all these, what is the purpose? Yatma suprasidati, the satisfaction of soul. If that's not done, it's all useless. Bhaktivedanta said, destroy all these temples. Christ said, I'll destroy this Jerusalem in 3 days. Isn't it? He said no. And that's why he actually was crucified. Not because he was preaching, but they really got wild. They said, come on, this person is saying destroy this temple. He is saying, I will bring down this Jerusalem temple in 3 days. What's happening? He's gone crazy. But that's the whole point. This is all good, everything is nice, everything is required also. Actually, it's required. It's not that temples and this external Vedic culture, it seems externalities. In fact, mystics, they don't like these externalities. All these mystics, they say it's all bogus. Even Buddha said, this all I think is bogus. But the point is, Buddha came for a purpose. This is not useless. It serves a purpose. It serves its function until and unless we don't lose the sight of the purpose. Otherwise, it goes waste. Just like Bhaktivedanta Thakur says in his song, was that Baul Baul Shab Kahe. Everybody says he's mad in love of God. But then Bhaktivedanta Thakur continues, but Nake Tilak Kanthi Mala. He says, and they think just by putting tilak and kanthi and hanging the bead back, they'll become mad in love of God? No. There's a full song there. So these rituals have a function because it supports, it helps to develop, to develop consciousness. Otherwise, how do you develop your consciousness? How do you do? These externalities force us to go into some, just like temple forces us to actually bring a good atmosphere and think about Krishna, isn't it? You create a space. And Christendom exactly knew this point. And that's why they made so big churches, isn't it? Like this is a tiny thing in front of church, if you go to churches, Rome, and why? Because they know the function of space is to create awe and reverence. So this is how, you see the point, we are talking about consciousness with the culture, externalities, let's say, externalities and the internal consciousness. The idea is externalities, first consciousness comes and then externalities comes. It's not the other way around. Just like Bhaktivedanta Thakur raises a question, what comes first, books or devotion? So it doesn't go the other way around. From books you don't get devotion, from devotion comes books. But for us who are conditioned, what to do? We have to go the other way around. And this is called as reverse engineering. You see, it's like you have a technology, a scientist, he came up with the idea and you bring the technology, and then you do reverse, you understand technology and get the idea. So that's how, that's for conditioned souls we are required to go to that consciousness. And when you achieve that consciousness, then this starts supporting us. That's how it goes. That's how Vaidhi and Raghunaga Bhakti. If we chant holy names to remember Krishna, but for Prabhupada, it's just the other way around. He remembers Krishna and then chants the holy name. Actually, it's the other way around. It's more other way around. Radharani wants to forget Krishna, and then she chants holy name. It's funny. It changes, It changes. So she's chanting holy names because she wants to forget Krishna. She's saying, nonsense Krishna, rascal Krishna, I want to forget you. She can't. And Prabhupada is not chanting because he has to chant. He's remembering Krishna. Krishna is so nice, and spontaneously that word Krishna is coming from his soul. For us, it's the other way around. We are trying to remember. We forget and we say, Krishna, 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 go into my ears, go into my heart. Somehow it should provoke the remembrance. So there's a purpose for all these things, but you see the culture and consciousness, the roles reverse as you advance. For us, culture is more important, with the purpose in the foresight. When you advance, then the purpose is more important, with the culture in the hindsight, by supporting it. And when you become perfect, everything becomes one. You become the way, and become that spiritual word. Spiritual word also has all these things. It's not that spiritual word doesn't have externalities. It has all. Lakshmi is dressing so nicely. She dresses even more gorgeously in spiritual word. We have all this information. So there is culture in spiritual word. There is all these things and consciousness. But are they different? Are they supporting each other? No, they have become one. They've become the way. It's there. It's a part of their life. Every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Brahma Samhita. That's how this goes. So we are trying to train ourselves now, so that when we go to spiritual world, we don't mess around there. We know exactly what to do, how to do. It becomes of a blood and soul like that. And that's what I can comment on that. Anything wants to ask? any other thing or yes, Prabhu, yeah.
You said something about indirect paroksha.
Yeah, parokshvad, yeah.
So maybe you could speak about Sukadeva Goswami's purpose in not mentioning Radharani's name directly.
Oh, okay. Oh, that example? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Prabhu is saying about parokshvad, and he's kindly making me remember about that example, and that's a very good example. Parokshvad means a way of saying indirectly, and one of the example is Sukadeva Goswami doesn't speak the name of Radha, but he speaks it indirectly, and we all know that verse Aradhito. What's that verse? I don't know, but it starts with this Aradhito. So he doesn't speak directly, but he hides and he speaks. Just like in this word Mangalam, he doesn't speak Vishnu directly, this verse, but speaks indirectly. Mangalam is one of the names of Vishnu, by the way, in Vishnu Sahasranam. But it's used in a different context. In fact, all these words are names of Vishnu. Su is a name of Vishnu. Su means Sundara. He is Sundara. This is a prefix used. Krita is name of Vishnu. Krita Krityam. That word comes. Krita means who has. Krita is a name of Vishnu. Krita means who have already accomplished everything. Kri dhatu means to do. Karishyati means it will do. Krita means what I've done, already done. God has already accomplished His plans. Even before He starts to make His plan, He has already accomplished. That's Krishna. That's why one of the name is Krita. And then Kautuka, that's another name of Krishna. Actually, that's one of the name of Lakshmi. Kautuka, one of the name of Lakshmi is Chanchala. She's unstable, Lakshmi. She doesn't stay at one place. She can't stay at one place except Narayan. Kautuka means she is very unstable, very jovial. That's one of the name of Lakshmi and Krishna. It can refer to Krishna because Krishna is very Lalit. That word used, Lalit, joking and enchanting in Vrindavan. So that Kautuka is one of the name of Krishna. Mangalam is the name of Krishna, is all auspicious for all of the word. Ahat is one of the name of Krishna. Ahat, if you read, Hat means destroy, Ahat means which is not destroyed. Krishna can never be destroyed. His plans can never be destroyed. Yugmena is one of the name of Krishna. Yugmena actually refers to Radha Krishna. Yugmena means two. This word is always used for Radha Krishna in poetry, especially when you refer to them indirectly, Parokshavad. So, Bhushana is one of the name of Krishna, that's it in Bhagavatam. Krishna is the ornament of Yashoda, isn't it? Yashoda says, he's my ornament. So that's Parokshavad. In every word there is Krishna, but he doesn't use it directly. That's why Shuka is Shuka. He is real Shukadeva Goswami. And that is why Vyasadeva and Narad Muni, they are coming to listen. They are not coming to listen some kind of. They can immediately understand all the levels. He is simultaneously speaking and talking on all the levels of reality. That's Parokshavad, and that's why that's Aradhito, Radha's name. That's how it goes. Yes, Guru, yeah.
In the purport to the third verse of the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada describes how Shukadeva has presented and spoken this Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, that every single person who hears it, each verse can be relished.
Oh, yeah.
By everyone.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fine.
Every single verse in the Bhagavatam can be relished by everyone because of his presentation.
Yeah, actually, you're right, yeah. Because there were so many Gyanis were there, Sukadeva Goswami speaking, yogis. Everybody was relishing because he's speaking in Parokshvad. He's speaking same words on different levels of reality, and whoever is whatever level, he relishes that. That is a beauty of Sukadeva Goswami. That's how we should be. You see, in preaching, you have to be like that, because if you have a Sunday program, there are new people, there are old people, they are advanced, there are crazy devotees, there are lazy devotees, there are nice devotees, there are all kind of devotees, isn't it? They are there, what to do? Even the speaker is also sometimes crazy. So, but the point is, you have to inspire everybody. That's the whole idea. Okay, they are like that, but you have to inspire them to advance. That's what this temple is for, to enthuse them by one lecture. So you have to address everybody. but you are speaking one thing. So that's why you should be expert in Parokshvad. Because when a speaker uses Parokshvad, he is simultaneously addressing everybody and everybody is enthused on the same level. But if you don't know this technique of Parokshvad, you're speaking something, two persons are getting enthused on the front row and you're talking to them, others are sleeping. Because you're not expert in speaking. That should be one part of training in ISKCON. I feel that. If you are becoming a preacher, there has to be a training, isn't it? And Srila Prabhupada wanted a Varnashram college to be opened with every temple. 1975-74 letter he said, every temple should have a college so that devotees come and they become trained. It didn't happen somehow, whatever it is. Anyway, somehow means it's just 30 years of the movement. We don't expect much thing. It will grow much. And that's why I am starting a college in India. It's almost started, the project is started, and I want this. So devotees, they're so nice devotees, sincere devotees. They want to preach, but they don't know how to preach. They get frustrated. So train them in the presentation art. The content is 30%, 70% is presentation, by the way, according to modern research, and also according to Vedic scriptures. And there's so actually Shukracharya gives this example. You might be very intelligent. You might be having the best content. I mean to say, you can go to, before lecture, you can go to folio and tick and get all the points and okay, got it. Here are points and okay, good. But the impact of your content will only be 30%. And the example gives of a crow. A crow can be super intelligent, lot of content, but when it speaks, quack, quack, half of the people will go. Or donkey, super intelligent. When he starts speaking, how does donkey speak? Quack, quack. No. How does donkey bray? I didn't see donkey for a long time. Like that.
You used to work with a lot of donkeys.
You have? Okay.
You'd hear them out there just talking to each other and having a great time.
So, nobody is going to become impressed, although he may be talking something sense. But on the other hand, you have a cuckoo. The most foolish cuckoo in the history of universe. But when she speaks and sings, everybody is going to come. And that's the idea. So presentation, that presentation is not just to impress people, it is to convey your message effectively. This is presentation, by the way. He's presenting. People who are listening, devotees like Vyasadeva, when he's listening to this verse, he's not thinking about only the culture and decoration, he's thinking about Vishnu, because every word is invoking the remembrance of Vishnu. Maybe yogis, when they are listening this verse, yogis definitely would not be interested in all these things. Why is Bhakti Vikasa Swami saying dress and all these things? And female, he's talking about female. No, we are yogis. They might be, some yogis were there, it said. They might not be interested, but then what's happening? When Sukadeva Goswami is speaking this, they are not thinking of all these decorations and all this. They are thinking of mangalam, of satisfaction of the deity. They are into a different realm altogether. So I think that's required there. At least we should do something. Anyway, I'm trying to do something. I speak in that way so that people are inspired and they also get something. Anyway, thank you for listening. If anybody has any questions, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to all of you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.